Ooh, man, my hair is just beautiful today. Yeah, whatever. All right, good morning, folks. My name is Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for legacy death and taxes. And I was looking for something fun to play this morning, and I went through the recent Legacy Challenge top 8 and like the other deck lists, and I saw a card that was near and dear to my heart, and so I just had to play this deck list. I love Keranos God of Storms. Back when I played Modern, this was just my jam. I shoved this into basically every deck list I played. Blue, white, red control, it's there. Splinter Twin, it's there. Like anything I played, I shoved this into. And I've played it in a handful of Legacy decks as well. I've played this in Miracles, I've played this in Grixis Control. I just love having this card sit around because it's everything I love about Magic, right? Like, it's board control, it's card draw, it's really hard to answer. I love this card. So when I saw that Cartesian had slotted it into Delver, he got a raised eyebrow. I really enjoyed playing with Dreadhorde Arcanist the other day, so I wanted to give that another try. So this is his updated version. Sort of at a glance, there's a couple more removal spells in the main deck. Like you can see a Chain Lightning and an Echoing Truth here, as well as a slightly different threat base. Now we have a couple of True Name Nemesis, so that you have another sort of like sticky threat. The other big, eyebrow raiser is this Haze of Rage. Feel free to use the Cardboard Live extension if you need a closer look at that one, because I'm sure you've never seen this one before. Unless you played, what is that? Future Sight Limited? So, it's a red and a colorless. For creatures you control, get +1/+0 until end of turn, and it has Storm. I almost just took this card out of the deck and played another Chain Lightning. And then I went, if I have one good Haze of Rage throughout this league, it's worth it. So, what can you do with this card? Let's say, you have an Arcanist and you have a Haze of Rage. Let's say you go, Ponder, Haze of Rage, attack with the Arcanist, Haze of Rage. All of a sudden, that first Haze of Rage gives everything +2/+0, and then the second one that's flashback gives everything +3/+0. So you've essentially given your entire team +5/+0 very easily. And if you have a couple of young Pyromancer tokens, GG. So I think this is probably loose, but I see the potential associated with this card. So I'm game for trying it. I just want to go ahead and jump into some leagues. Let's just play Magic. This is the start of very frequent Legacy content from me, by the way, because now I'm done teaching, so that means I have a lot of free time. I'm gonna keep this. With a red source, I have turn 2 Pyromancer. With a blue source, I have turn 3 True Name. And I have a Daze for interaction if I need it. I'm not going to take that Wasteland. I'd really rather naturally draw a land, but I think I need to take the Brainstorm. If I bottomed the... Oh, well, this is good. Now I can spend a turn Wastelanding, and I don't necessarily have to fire off the Brainstorm. This would be like the most aggressive days. I'm gonna brainstorm myself here. I want to see if I have a land coming. This is not optimal. Ooh. You would like to daze my brainstorm. So my opponent... this was loose. I gave them an opportunity to, like, pick up their land. Alright. Super punished for that. That's feel bad. When I saw Tundra, I thought weak miracles opening. And that was not the case. Yeah, now despite the fact that some sort of Esper Mentor deck? Esper Rector is a fair guess. This resolves, I feel pretty okay about my position. But if my opponent has like a 1-mana counter here, or a 1-mana removal spell here, I can't like daze and actually deal with it. Okay, Esper Painter? Sure? This is weird. The Ancient Tomb... I guess like it's just to accelerate out the colorless cards. Alright, well you have one floating, so you're playing around my days. So Teferi's definitely made a little bit of a splash in Legacy. As a whole, I don't know whether or not it actually ended up being better than, say, Narset. But it is something that people have been forcing into a number of archetypes. Well, maybe not forcing is the right word. Like, it's seen play in Miracles, it's seen play in Show and Tell, and I've seen people trying to jam it into a couple other shells. Like, occasionally you'll see one in, like, a Stoneblade deck or in some other combo deck like we're seeing here. Well, basically, whatever this is, if it costs 4, I'm dazing it. What's the play this turn? Could be anything, really. This is sweet. Alright, Cartesian. You win this round. Cartesian is a genius. Alright, so we're playing against Esper Painter. So Shattering Pulse seems great. Echoing Truth seems great. Back to Basics is probably crippling. I don't really know enough about my opponent's deck to make good decisions, I think. Like, I don't get why they want to be in not red. So I guess they have, like, blue blasts instead of red blasts? So, like, what don't I want? Despite the fact of how good it was, just to make room, I'll probably trim this. The 3-color deck with Soul Lands, yeah, they're probably not going to like this. Even if it's an inconvenience for me, it might just be game over versus them. So I'll trim a cantrip, probably. I don't know that I want to trim any of this stuff because it will still kill Painter. I'll trim 2 of those, and then, like, trim 1 threat. Did you just tune in? Because if you just tune in, you missed this awesome play. So you just missed... Oh, nope, wrong one. You just missed this. It was play Delver, then play the Rage, and just crash in for lethal. We don't have lands, so I'm gonna mull this one. How's the website going, by the way? I don't think I want another one of those currently. Don't name force. Don't name force. Thank God. Well... So I think I'm good with this. I think I'm going to bury the back to basics and take the days now. Yeah, our R6 was stellar. No complaints there. So that was a play a land prior to brainstorm to make sure the brainstorm does not get dazed if I took a daze. That was a heads up play on their end. That brainstorm must have been very important to them. Yeah, if I were to go and give you a piece of advice about that, I'd say don't feel like you have to push something out every week. If pushing something out every week means that you're going to make something mediocre. I think it's more important to work on a schedule where everything that you push out you're proud of. I think that's more important. So like I used to be on like a very strict one a week schedule. And then I kind of slowed things down. At the beginning, it's really easy to push stuff out every week because you don't have that much stuff populated for the site. But when you get a little bit further along, like you're going to realize it does get harder and harder to make new things. Who needs red mana? I know, right? It's so cute. Ooh, it just resolved. I was not really expecting that. There are basics in there. I really thought that was going to be like a no basic deck. Yeah, Preordain's fine. Like anything that sets them back a land is going to be a net positive for me. They know about my force of will, So they can't just, like, run whatever their answer is into me directly yet. High Tide, I don't know. Like, I don't know what their mana base looks like. Because they seem to be color intensive while also having soul lands. Alright, I'm now at the point where I will force of will a Cabal Therapy. So this is actually kind of a fun play because on the surface it may just look like I'm protecting the information about my hand, when in reality, I just have 37 forces in my hand. Alright, there's a basic island. You get to play some degree of Magic. Man, if there's a basic Plains in here too. Oh, another basic island. Yeah, I have questions. There's a Karn. So, if I let this Karn resolve, I'm probably just going to have to, like, force an ensnaring bridge on the next turn. Ooh, that would be a hot line. No, I don't think I want to use the Daze just to, like, take out this as a mana source. Like, this is a Lotus Petal. You don't use your resources to attack Lotus Petals. Sun Proud, like, Blood Moon and Back to Basics are different cards. Like, they hedge against different things. So it's not like one is just strictly better than the other. I'd rather have the potential for a hard counter later, because even if my opponent is just operating on these, like, the Daze is at the point where it's gotten much weaker. Okay. So if you just minus, you're dead. Now I just bolt you and attack you and just ignore the Karn. It's not strictly better, though. Strictly better means there are literally no circumstances in which one card doesn't outperform the other. And that's just not the case. Yeah, I mean, like, kudos to my opponent for going and, like, trying out something, like, new. But it seemed, like, clunky. Yeah, I agree, Archmage. Like, I wonder if there's a side of the deck that we didn't see. Like, if there were mentors jammed into this shell as well, for example, then the Cabal therapies feel much better than they looked this game. Like, maybe there's something like that we missed. Sure, Thopter Sword would be another example where, like, you can grind some value out of it. I just don't understand why they're playing what they're playing. I'll keep this. I'm lacking a threat, but I have a lot of manipulation and some fetch lands, so like we can turn this into something real relatively quickly. I mean, Maxtortion's Bomberman shell is probably the best card deck, in my opinion. But favorite and best aren't necessarily synonyms. My favorite was when Julian just, like, shoved it into Elves. Oh, my opponent says, love your streams. Like, that was hilarious. I don't know if it was actually good, but, like, boy, did I enjoy that. I'm actually going to preordain here. I want to save the Ponder for a turn down the road. I kind of just want a threat. Nice. Yeah, Karn's really good. Double basic swamp? Are we getting poxed? Am I gonna, like, play this Delver directly into Smallpox? Because it sure feels like that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I think Karn pretty easily is, like, the best card from the... Why is everyone playing Scrubland? What's going on? Is my opponent just, like, Esper Stoneblade and they whiffed on blue after a mull to 6? I regret my decision immediately. I think I should have played Scalding Tarn and Fetch for Mountain. I'm kind of scared of back to basics right now. So I'm just going to fetch an island. I don't know. I don't know what's going on the other side of the battlefield. But I'm going to be careful. Oh, thanks. Cheers. Of course. Hit me up if you ever need anything. I'll do what I can. I maybe should have just fired off the chain lightning there, but... Nick Fit? Is it Nick Fit now? Feels like awkward Nick Fit start. I don't know that they can beat Daze and Force here. All right. So, if my opponent is playing Nick Fit, I have, like, no cards for them. So we're going to bring in Keranos. Because I like Keranos. And if my opponent is not playing Nick Fit, if things go wrong, Keranos is sweet. And if things go right, like, I can probably just win with my normal stuff. I think trim a Chain Lightning. Actually, bringing in an Echoing Truth is probably good, too. If I bring that in, I should maybe trim this. Like, if my opponent is Nick Fit, the Pyromancer Go Wide plan is a little worse against things like Pernicious Deed that they can have. We should Surgical so we can see their deck. That's a plan, Hell Clan. That's a plan. It's gotta be Nick Fit, right? So I'm actually not gonna fetch out basics. I'm gonna leave them in the deck. So that if my opponent is Nick Fit, I can get them out later and generate value that way. What do I have? 3 basics? Island, Mountain? No, I have 3 islands. Sweet. Duress? I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, there's so much discard over there. Like, Thoughtseize and Duress. Alright, Blindfoot Delver. I will reveal Lightning Bolt. Go, Delver friend. I'm in this weird world where, like, I want to play around Nick Fit stuff, and I'm also kind of scared of back to basics. So I guess I'll play the Mountain, even though I kind of want to, like, shuffle that back into my library. Look, Hell Clan, if I Surgicaled, I could then flash it back with the Arcanist. Alright, Green Sun. Alright, there it is. Well. So how much damage can I do this turn? I can hit for 9 this turn. I can go bolt you, insect you. Or I can just, like, preordain. Yeah, we just have one of them. I really want to find Echoing Truth. I want to find Echoing Truth and bounce the Veteran Explorer. Yes! Oh, that's so strong. Let's take a Ponder. Nice. Actually, I already do have another Echoing Truth, like, effectively in Graveyard, so maybe I'm not supposed to take that. Actually, you know what? Screw it, I'll take that. And I took this to hand rather than hiding it on top of Library in case my opponent is able to go Veteran Explorer and sack it to something like Cabal Therapy instantly. So this is them doing, like, a Force of Will check. Yep. So now they'll play the Veteran Explorer. I do nothing a lot. Yes, it is. This is Cartesian's deck list. It's really fun. So this is kind of cool. In that, like, my opponent is taking my stuff with Cabal Therapy, but I still have access to it because of the Arcanist. So, like, if they take my Lightning Bolt, I can just flash it back. If they take my Echoing Truth, I can just flash it back. This card is great. Yeah, like, I'm definitely ending up on the winning side of this equation. Because I still effectively have all of these cards in my hand. My opponent has also shuffled away the 2 lands that were on top of my library. And I'm going to hit them for a lot this turn. Or I can just bounce the Sylvan Library. Alright, Cartesian, you're right. You're right. I can't just cast the Echoing Truth. This card has always flashed back every card I wanted it to. So if I can hit for 7 here. Or I can just take a Preordain and try to find a counter spell. I'll take the bolt. And I guess I'll play out a land. Yeah, a Thragtusk would be a little annoying. Like, my opponent will probably get to play one big stupid thing, but I'm just hoping it's a big stupid thing that doesn't gain life. Because even if they, like, stall the ground and stop this, I have, like, the very real potential to just hit them twice with Delver. But this is a scary turn. All right. All I need to do is find some burn. If I find some burn, we're donezo. So let's put back 2 lands. My opponent says, lol, 1 burn spell. Gotta find it. It's got a little trickier. So I think I'll put back Daze Delta. If I make an attack, oh shoot, I did have a land drop. Oh, I thought I did. Oh, I just activated Scalding Tarn. I didn't play Scalding Tarn. Crap. Alright, I made an error. I suppose I don't need to brainstorm before blocks. Like, there's nothing that's going to change this at this point. I'm not sure which one they're going to block. Because if they don't take the Arcanist, then I'm going to get another card out of it. Young Pyromancer. Well, that seems fine. So let's put back Daze, Force, play Pyromancer, Preordain. Always yield to that. And we're fine with keeping both of these, because it means I can, like, hard cast and counter their next 2 plays. So, like, I'll put Force here, Daze here, draw the Daze. So now I have Force pitch to Daze for whatever they play. And I imagine that, like, that just means they're just going to be dead to me attacking with stuff. So I think I messed up by not playing the fetch, but I think I was far enough ahead where it didn't matter. I do nothing a lot. I do not see that you subscribed in my notification feed. But you have the badge. And that badge indicates that you just hit 1 year. So, like, thank you very much for your continued support. I don't know that I didn't get the money. Like, that probably went through if your badge icon changed. I just didn't get a notification for some reason. So I don't need Wasteland. And I don't think I need this. So, like, now I guess I'll just play a Delver, and then I have double Force of Will available to me. Delicious Waffles, you're right. You're right. It is trivial, but it's a misplay, right? Like, when you're 90% favored to win, you have to do those things that keep pushing you closer and closer towards, like, moving the needle to 100. And that was definitely a loose play. I respect my opponent taking themselves out there. It may have been correct to not set the Delver up to flip, so you could hard cast Force of Will, Pitch Force, and Daze. Ooh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, so, like, my opponent is on less than 4 life in a single card, so there's no way that I need more than one counterspell to take out whatever they're doing. But again, you know, like, build good mental shortcuts by always playing towards the best lines and playing optimally. This deck list is so fun, Cartesian, by the way. If you're still there, here was how we won our first match. We cast a Delver and then played the Haze of Rage twice. Or no, I guess we just played it once. It wasn't with an Arcanist. But, like, we got the Storm copy and just crushed when my opponent thought they had more time. It was super sweet. Yeah, I almost took the Haze Arrays out of the deck list to play another Chain Lightning, and then I was like, you know, I can see where this could be really good. So, like, we got our one, even if we don't have another, like, amazing, like, Haze of Rage moment. Like, one for the stream is cool. I can respect fun ofs. I love Keranos so much. This is definitely a It Brings Joy deck list. Sand solid. We get a Delver Daze start with cantrips to set up the Delver to flip, or start fueling this guy. Shoutouts to to Cardboard Live for being able to tell you what Haze of Rage does. Yeah, Keranos is like really sticky, right? Like he hits the board and it's very hard to go and get him to leave. Like even for non-Nick Fit decks, if you take something like Miracles, it's basically like you have to Council's Judgment it away. And that's something that's often reserved for answering your true name nemesis. This is just a lightning bolt on my Delver. I'm dazing it. Same logic. Blind Flip Delver. You can do it, little buddy. Young Pyromancer. I don't want to reveal that one. I want the land for sure. The Chain Lightning's a little tougher. I think I'm going to take it. If my opponent's burn and I take an Eidolon off the table, that's great. If this is a Delver Mirror, then it's also good. So I'll take both. If Chain Lightning is bad, it's not that bad. Alright, leaning towards it being burn. So now we get to flip the Delver off our Chain Lightning. In terms of accrued value, it's much better for me to... My opponent says I'll only check out the video if I win. In terms of accrued value, it's much better to like play the Pyromancer and then answer this. But all I want to do here is protect my life total. And I think I can't lose. So let's Chain Lightning while my opponent is tapped out and can't play red-red. Technically should have attacked before doing that. You know, in case they have double Lava Dart or something. I don't know. I don't even know if Lava Dart's an instant, but, you know. Again, good habits. And then let's Preordain. I'm going to bottom... So next turn I want to just, like, play one of these threats, and then I'll have 1 mana available. So I'm fine with keeping one and or both of these. I think I'm going to bottom the Preordain and keep the Ponder. Yeah, that's fine. You've got some effective card draw there. But you don't have the mana to go with it. Okay, do I want to play Wasteland or Volcanic Island? Wasteland... I kind of want to play Volcanic Island. Like, Wasteland protects itself a little bit better from Price of Progress. But I might want mana flexibility later. these two cards, it's kind of a tough choice. Because my opponent might fire off a bunch of things that go and attack my board, I kind of like just trying to go wide of them. I love the Lightning Bolt here as a finisher. So let's go this, shuffle. No. I'm not sure like how many resources my opponent is going to have. It's unclear how easily they can just go after my board. Yeah, that's fine. Versus, like, can they just go to my dome and race me? Well, this whole, like, skewer the critics into skewer the critics thing is kind of sweet. So I can play around Price of Progress by playing out a Wasteland and holding the Wasteland up. If I play Arcanist and Bolt, then I'm going to have 5 power on board. My opponent will be at 7. They'll be dead to Flashback Bolt. If I play out True Name Nemesis, I can't Bolt, but I get something that's a little stickier and harder to get rid of. I think I'm going to go ahead and just play out this. I think it's important to leave up the Bolt in case my opponent has some sort of Flame Riff-esque card. All right, we got there on what I assume are narrow margins. The Skewer the Critics and Light Up the Stage really let my opponent get back into that. You know, if we assume they had 6 points of burn in hand or something like that they just couldn't use or something, like we're relatively close to dead when I thought the game was over when they were on 1 or 2 cards. So like the burn deck has definitely changed a little bit. Alright, so I like Flusters and Hydroblasts. And honestly, that's probably it. Like, there's some consideration for Echoing Truth for, like, a Sulfuric Vortex or equivalent, but I think I'm less worried about that than I am just their random, like, burn and card draw combination. The true names are kind of slow here. Like, they can't be just answered by Bolt, which is nice, but I don't know that that's really where I need to be, is like a 3-mana tap-out threat. I'd much rather try to win the game on lower resources. I'm also not super sure how I feel about Chain Lightning, since like there is a very real chance that my opponent can redirect it to me. Maybe I'm supposed to board that out, but at the same time, it's removal for their creatures, which is very important in the early turns, especially when I'm on the draw. So I think I'd rather trim a Wasteland or a Preordain over the Chain Lightning. I think I'm going to trim a... like, trimming a Wasteland leaves me a little softer to Price of Progress. Trimming a Preordain makes me slightly better against Eidolon. I'm going to trim a Preordain. All right, I'll be keeping this hand. Very much hoping my opponent does not have Price of Progress. think that's worth protecting. It does mean that like my force of will is temporarily dead, but that's okay. Yeah, so like I'm okay with this. Like that resolves and I just chain lightning it while it's safe to do so. I do not want to reveal island. My opponent's probably fine with that trade as well. Like, they get a card and 2 damage out of their Eidolon. It's not the best rate, but, you know, it took my turn. Ugh. So, in terms of tempo, I would really like to put the Arcanist into play. But if I do so and my opponent just has a bolt, it's like really embarrassing. Like if they have a bolt effect, they might not have used it yet just because like I have this Delver. So I lose tempo but gain life by just bolting the Eidolon now. Which I think I'm going to do. I would love for my opponent to spend resources on this Delver so that the Arcanist lives. That's fine. I'm going to assume that was the draw for turn. Although that may not be true. I think I need to play this out. Like I need to be representing things with my mana. How do I feel about Goblin Guide? Goblin Guide doesn't do anything this turn. Opponents overpaid for their Goblin Guide trying to like bait a Daze, which I respect. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let that resolve. Like, I can block it this turn. Oh, they have another Goblin Guide. That I will Daze. Alright, I'm going to draw a Ponder. We'll block 2 damage. Unfortunately, it can't kill either one of these, but that's fine. So I can keep Ponder as Force of Will fodder, which means that this sucker lives. I like that. So I think I just like use this opportunity to Chain Lightning down one of these 2 threats, and then play safely. This card's so good. I love this card. And again, trying to use the Chain Lightnings when my opponent doesn't have the opportunity to redirect it. Let's just take out the Swift Spear, because it has the potential to do more damage to me over time. Actually, you know, if I can find any blue card off this Ponder, I may be able to set it up so the Goblin Guide actually gives me a card. It's a little greedy, but I accept. This is great. So I can just Hydroblast anything they do. If I Brainstorm, I can if I cast Brainstorm, I can Hydroblast and... Oh no, I can't Hydroblast and Bolt. Oh. Yes, that's the way to solve the puzzle, is cast the Brainstorm and put a land on top. Guess who doesn't play with blue cards very often? Ooh. My opponent says, I forgot it's an attack trigger. I thought it was a deals damage. Yeah, this card is insane. And we Brainstorm. Alright. So I'll put back something and land. I guess it can be Ponder. Actually, I can bolt this and keep up Force Pitch Ponder if I absolutely need to, and not take any damage this turn, and then have the Hydroblast for the following turn. This is great. I know I'm a Delver deck, but like whenever I have this card in play, I just feel like I am a crazy powerful control deck. Oh man. This is so good. Opponent gets a smiley face there. Yeah, if they had done that in response to my Brainstorm, would have been bad news bears for me. Oh, Arkin, thank you very much for the host. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I don't think I need to aggro my opponent here. I think I'm just going to take a Ponder. Let's just shuffle those. So, hi everyone, my name's Phil Gallagher. I run ThrabenU University, a site for Legacy, Death, and Taxes. Today we're trying out Cartesian's deck list from the most recent Legacy Challenge, and it's a good one. It's very fun. I think we're currently 2-0. So let's put back land, land. Let's preordain, ship those lands away. Eh. I will go ahead and play that mountain, just because it puts me closer to hardcast Force of Will territory, which I think is somewhere that I'm actually going to want to be this game. Like, I'll Hydroblast anything that targets my dearly beloved friend here, but otherwise, like, I'm just good. I'm just getting to bury my opponents in cards. It feels so good. Let's brainstorm and I'll set up a Delver flip. Dude, I have all the things! Holy cow! The world is my oyster. I don't think I need Force of Will. I think like my soft permission will get me through whatever they've got going on the other side of the table there. Arkin, this card's great. Like, I'm enjoying playing Delver, like, very actively. Like, this is a control deck. Like, it looks like Delver, but, like, this card's in play, and then my opponent can't do anything that matters anymore. Kinda unfair, Bison? This card's so unfair. Let's start closing the window. Okay, that's kind of annoying. It's not worth forcing. Yeah, we have PZ too. Purple oranges, if you want to click on screen, on the left-hand side, there's like a little set of cards. That's the Cardboard Live extension. It has the full deck list. And Gerzer Gore's Feathers, thank you very much for following, as well as Rubble Kill. I'm going to do it. This probably isn't the right play, but I'm having fun, and my opponent is trying to ruin my fun. I'm just going to make a statement. Okay, so purple oranges. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but there is a way to enable the extension on mobile. I believe there's some sort of puzzle piece icon that you click to enable it. All right, even a scrub like me can be 3-0 with Delver without dropping any games by playing Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, so Man with a Plan. Last league I played with a similar deck list, also built by Cartesian. I kept getting into these situations where it was like, well, I could play Young Pyromancer or the Arcanist, but I think I should just play the Arcanist. It's just, like, so good. Yeah, so I don't know if you caught my last message there, but the card that I had left over in hand was Pyroblast. So, like, I really had you covered. Yeah, so this is the deck list. There's kind of a fun of Haze of Rage here, but, like, this shell is brutally good. Like, I'm so happy with this list. Is it though? Like, you can attack for 0 and still, like, keep flashing back stuff out of your graveyard. I'm fine with that. Like, I will take my free Snapcaster Mage value every turn. Boo! Alright, fine. Yeah, you're right, you're right. I keep forgetting about, like, the power and toughness clause because, like, it always just flashes back the card I want to flash back. Yeah, so, like, I was really impressed by how close you got back into game 1 with your card draw spells. I haven't played against Burn very much since they got, like, Light Up the Stage and Skewer the Critics. But, like, you had, like, 1 card left in hand, and then you, like, effectively drew 3 or 4 more new cards, and it was like, well, you might be back in this game. Yeah, so, like, I think if you were playing super seriously, like, this Haze of Rage should probably be a Fork Bolt, or, like, another Chain Lightning. But, like, it did lead to a really cool spot. So, like, those of you who were watching on Arkan's stream, you didn't see this. But, like, this was my Haze of Rage kill that I got in match 1. Where, like, I just cast, like, a Delver and then the Haze of Rage, and all of a sudden, like, my board became way more threatening. So it was worth, like, 2, 4, 6... It was worth 8 extra points of damage for 2 mana. That was sweet. Yeah, so Dobots, I used to play a lot of Modern, and then they kept, like, banning all of the cards I was playing with. I loved Modern in the Splinter Twin era. That was my jam. That was the magic that I was about. And then I was still fine with it through, like, the Dig Through Time era, and kind of once Splinter Twin was gone, I lost the biggest thing that was drawing me to Modern, which was, like, this weird set of choices that allow you to play the game how you want to play the game. So, like, in Splinter Twin, it was often correct to choose not to win the game now because it was just safer and played around more things. So, like, there were plenty of times where, like, I have Pestermite on board, and I have Splinter Twin, and it's like, Splinter Twin Wall of Omens. And my opponent just, like, looks at me, sighs, and says, yeah, it resolves. And then I just, like, draw cards forever. This is kind of a hard scry. Like, I'd really just like to find a creature, but I think I'm going to take this anyway. No, so, like, what I loved about Splinter Twin wasn't the game ending on turn 4. It was the game ending on turn 17 with my opponent living in constant fear. That's what I loved. Oh, this is great. I will take both of those. So, and, like, I loved the transformational sideboards that Twin had, where it was just like, hey, now I'm just going to be this, like, blue-red control deck with, like, huge tap-out threats like Keranos Goblin Storms. Counterspell me. Impulse. So we're probably playing against a Show and Tell deck, like an Omni build. Yeah, you can have that. Oh god, that lets him play around a days. Please don't have backup. No, it's not a dick move, though. So, like, by going for it, you put yourself in a situation where if your opponent has, like, a piece of spot removal or interaction, you might lose. And if you just, like, wait, or, like, do it on a non-essential threat, like, a lot of times you end up in a way better position. Alright, if they get to go for it again, like, they have it. If they can go, like, land, show, and tell, I've got nothing to back that up. Oh, buddy! Okay, what happens if I Chain Lightning? So if I Chain Lightning, that puts him to 10. I'll attack for 4, put him down to 9, so I'll have him on a 2-turn clock. What happens if I Ponder? If I Ponder, I'm basically looking for exactly days. Can't be Force. Yeah, let's chain them. Keeping the Ponder in hand gives me the option to draw Force of Will next turn and be able to pitch cast it. Otherwise, it gives me the opportunity to dig. Oh, we got there. I don't know if I would have conceded if I were the opponent. Like, I only have 5, so they're not, like, technically dead. But if they don't have, like, either a non-fetch land or a show and tell in hand already, they don't have outs to dig to. Alright, so Fluster's fine. Echoing Truth might be good enough. Pyroblasts are good. Surgicals might be playable, because if my opponent plays an Intuition, I can use that to strip the copies from their graveyard. It's also good if I counter something and then strip it from the deck. Bring in Keranos for show and tell. It's time for a super secret tech. I'll consider that. We'll see if we have slots. Alright. So, I don't love True Name. It's a slow tap-out threat. I probably don't like the Chain Lightning. And then I probably cut some number of bolts. The Haze of Rage might actually be good. Delicious Waffles, I don't know if they have red, though, right? Like, I did not see any red. I just saw, like, Island, Impulse, Ancient Tomb. And Impulse makes me think they're mono blue. So I'm not going to bring in Hydroblasts at this time. So I'm going to trim some burn. So, like, the Haze of Rage is really good with Pyromancer. You don't think I need the second Truth? Yeah, I'll buy that. Dude, I am, like, the only one excited for that blue-white sword. Everyone else is like, that sword's garbage. I'm so disappointed. And I'm over here like, oh my god. Mirren Crusader, do you see this, my friend? we will gain great glory. Like, I'm probably going to write an article about the sword, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like, I've wanted a blue-white sword for years, and I'm getting it. So, when you deal combat damage to a player, you put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, and then proliferate, I believe is the text. Do they Moon Delver? I don't know if they Moon Delver. Yeah, I'm super pleased with this hand. Like, I get a turn 1 threat, followed by a turn 2 threat if I want it, and then I have, like, Force plus Surgical. Alright, opponent gets to see my deck of Haze of Rage. So I believe someone said the spoiler has room for there to be multiple swords, but I don't know that we're actually going to get all of them. Oh, we are ready to bring the pain. I don't know how much damage Haze of Rage is going to do next turn, but it seems like a lot. So I could Surgical a Ponder here. Well, it's easy. I am Iron Man. I could just Surgical a Ponder here in case they put in Omniscience, and I can just, like, take away one potential card that they can get rid of. But it might be better to, like, save the Surgical for, like, a Haze of Rage sort of thing. Should have Surgical the Ponder they pitched. Sure should have. So I'm not going to Surgical. I don't think they have a third Ponder. This Griselbrand is going to be hard to beat. I have an Echoing Truth, so I'm not just, like, dead to it. But I'm probably effectively dead to it. I also might be able to cobble together a Haze of Rage kill. Like, in all seriousness, if my opponent, like, attacks me, I could just take it and then maybe kill them. What are we hypers about? Blue-White Sword. Super hyped about that. That card's sweet. The red-green Planeswalker for 2 mana that looks like it might slot into Loam or lands is pretty cool. I'm probably most hyped for, what is it, Sling Gang Lieutenant. That card's awesome. Definitely going to play some black-green goblins with that. All right, yeah, you can get my Delver. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, black-green goblins is going to be great. Alright, so you have sudden shocks. Haze of Rage kill, looking like more of a pipe dream at this point. Yeah, it's like main deckable life game that's not even like a stretch to go and do. Alright, I should snip this. Yeah, so for black-green goblins, there's also a new 2-drop that is like some sort of removal-esque card. Munitions something or other that has a lot of potential. So they have Brainstorm, Force, Impulse, Intuition. Let's get rid of their forces. Ah, we got a life out of them. Look at that, chat. We're so good. Yeah, the engineered plague creature gets an eyebrow raise from me as well. Gold, it's insane. This card is so powerful. It has been the reason why I've won most of my games. Alright. Pyroblast. Haze of Rage. Haze of Rage is a nice boost, but it's not 20 damage. Wait. I have a better play. Alright, so here's what we do, chat. We activate Wasteland, target Polluted Delta, hold priority, and fetch. That'll show him. And I misplayed. I should have Pyroblasted my Polluted Delta, then responded by Wasteland, then fetch, but, you know, it's okay. Yeah, the new set is absolutely insane in terms of power level. There's going to be a lot of cards that see play in Legacy. Unquestionably. Alright, so now that I know they are on red, I will play at least one Hydroblast. What do they have in terms of numbers here? Where's my snip? Here's my snip. Hold up. Hold up. They don't have Omnis? Wow. I'm not used to that. I always play D&T, and they always have Omnis, and I always lose to them. So they're looking to, like, Boseiju their show and tell and, like, just put in a creature. So that actually means I might want both Echoing Truth because they might just, like, dump in a Grizzlebrand. Like, they only have 2 of them, but, like, by the same logic, they only have 3 Emrakuls. Yeah, Legacy is getting a huge shakeup, right? Like, we get the War of the Spark followed by this, which are probably, like, 2 of the highest Legacy impact sets we've had in the past, like, 5 years. So I'm going to drop another Bolt, and then I think I'll drop the Haze of Rage. And I guess I can like go down one threat if I'm going to bring in the other Echoing Truth, or just like one Preordain. So we have Surgical, Daze. This is fine. Yeah, like we got like 2 like Innistrad level power sets in a row, which is nuts to think about. So next turn, I'm going to tap out for this. Do I want to have double Daze available? I don't want this. The second Daze is probably fine. I don't think it's good, but it's fine. Are you really going to, like, turn 1 me and I can't double Daze? Oh, that fucking sucks. Alright. I'm not gonna, like, Daze. So you're just gonna dump in a creature. If it's Grizzlebrand, I want to be able to find Echoing Truth. I guess like, it has to be a creature, right? They weren't playing Omnis. So is it better to get another land drop or have a creature? I think have a creature. All right. So I just literally cannot beat Resolved Emrakul. Echoing Truth, no good. All right. Let me just confirm. Yeah, there's nothing. Well, that sucks. Like, we had a great hand, and I think we were pretty well suited to, like, take that one down. Like, assuming we got literally one more turn. But that's all right. Like, we've had a really good run so far. Like, no complaints here. Yeah, like, so, like, regarding the spoilers, I keep joking, like, I'll go and take a nap, and they print a new Legacy playable card. And, like, that's not really that much of a joke, right? Like, in the past day, we got Sword of Truth and Justice, Renin 6. Archmage's charm is, like, borderline. Like, it's not super efficiently costed, but, like, the modal spells are often better than they look. Like, they're better than, like, the sum of the parts by quite a bit. So like, it wouldn't surprise me to see someone try that out. Like, we got Nature's Chant, which is, like, an upgraded disenchant for, like, a Maverick-style deck that's, like, playing both green and white. Like, Siege Gang Lieutenant was also yesterday. I am hot on that sword. I think it is much better than people are giving it credit for. I will absolutely be playing that the first weekend it's out. As a sideboard card. Like, it's not better than the main deck equipment, but it's very good. So, this card is great, but it's not redeem 5 land hand good. Oh yeah, I forgot the Engineered Plague Duder. Turn 1 Delver. Yes, that is what I want to do. Yeah. So I think people who haven't played the... I can't protect this Delver right now, but like I have 4 cantrips, so if it dies, like I'm fine with that. I think people who haven't played like the D&T versus Miracles matchup a lot don't understand how good protection from both blue and white simultaneously is. Like, it's something that will let you protect from Swords to Plowshares while also protecting from Jace and, like, Snapcaster Mage, like, Ambush Viper status, and Teferi bounce, and, like, basically everything except Council's Judgment and Terminus, while also having a... Oh, I should brainstorm in response to that, but it's fine because I'm a skilled magician. While also having, like, something that turns, like, literally any creature into an increasingly powerful clock. So we're talking about D&T playing the new blue-white sword. A little punished by playing my Scalding Tarn. I would have considered Wastelanding Dryad Arbor. So I think I'm going to hope my opponent doesn't have Cradle and put back the Wasteland. I have a little bit too much fluff here. Which I'm not super stoked on. I'm going to look for a Force of Will specifically here. That's the Force of Will I wanted. Yeah, so one of my historic strategies versus Miracles was, like, try to overload their removal for equipment. Because it's very reasonable to ask Miracles to answer one piece of equipment. When you start asking them to answer 2 or 3, though, it gets a little harder, especially... well, that's gotta go. So where's it going with that? So especially when Council's Judgment is often needed to answer creatures or ether vials, so it can't always just be reserved for equipment. Oh, come on, natural order me. Natural order me! No, alright. So you could bounce the Visionary, untap a Dryad Arbor, then I can't pay for that. Yeah, this is not looking good. And I don't have very many, like, sweepers. I think I have 1 Sudden Demise in the board to, like, deal with boards like this. I don't see how I win this game from here. Like, I will just lose the beatdown race. I think they'd rebuild faster from a Pyroclast than us with, like... maybe they don't have an initial mana source. Who knows? Natural Order, which can be played around days. Well, that sucks. Show me the hoof, and I will concede. Yeah, and even if I'm not literally dead here, I am figuratively dead. I can't beat a 5/5. Alright, so Sudden Demise is great. Oh man, I don't really have cards for this matchup. I guess I could Fluster. I guess I could Keranos if I really wanted as, like, a repeated source of removal, but that's super questionable. I don't think my sideboard is built to win this matchup. Like, Echoing Truth is really bad. Like, I guess having one would give me an out to an Archon if they're playing that, but if they're resolving a natural order, the, like, 5/6 body might just kill me anyway if they, like, re-hard cast it. So I don't know that I want to, like, try hedge in that direction. So how am I winning? I'm winning by repeatedly using these cards with this guy to keep the board clear. So I guess that can go. Like, my opponent's going to have a bunch of blockers, so, like, it's not super relevant. Young Pyromancer isn't, like, awesome at pushing damage, but it's fine at stalling the game, which might be fine. And then let's just junk one cantrip. Yeah, that is the plan. We're going to lean real heavily on this guy. And so I'm going to keep this hand because it has double removal spell plus the Arcanist. We're going to be pondering and looking for a land. And we get there. This is actually a great set of cards. I'm unsure if I'll actually daze a turn 1 play. Like, I really just want to shove this in play. Oh, man, I don't even need to think about it. That's awesome. So now I have this guy with, like, daze backup for if my opponent just, like, casts a Visionary or something like that. And since I know my next card is not a land, I will very aggressively daze. Like, literally any spell that I can counter, I will counter. Yeah. So on the play with Arcanist, like, that feels like where I need to be. I don't know how I'm supposed to win this on the draw. Yep. Symbiote's fine. You get 2 mana. Sylvan Library. No! 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 No. Unacceptable. Chain Lightning that thing. Chain Lightning that thing. Hopefully I've left them with no mana. Oh man, is Black Birthday today? Maybe I should. Oh my gosh, everything is wonderful. I will brainstorm to flip this. Like, let's close the door on this game while everything's still good. So let's put back Pyromancer, Brainstorm. Flip to Brainstorm. We'll go ahead and attack. And I'm just gonna... I think Ponder here. I don't really need the Young Pyromancer. So, like, I'm probably gonna shuffle off this Ponder. Unless, like, the stuff below it's really good. Stuff below it's really good. And I am not going to like play a Delver or a Brainstorm here. I want to leave up Lightning Bolt for a Dryad Arbor fetch. Like I just don't want my opponent to have any mana if at all possible. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, I don't have an end step stop set. That's kind of annoying. I don't think it matters, but I did not notice that. I had to uninstall and reinstall Magic Online a while back. You can have Nettle Sentinel. Like, that's just getting bolted currently. That is also just getting bolted currently. That's fine. They've had enough. Alright, so this is how I win this matchup. Like, I just have to lean on the Arcanist so very hard. Yeah, Royal Assassin, like, honestly, what could they do? Like, I don't think much. Oh, and, Xernox361, thank you for following. I missed your notification a while back. I don't know that this hand is good enough. Like, I can't just interact with a turn 1 play. The dazes are very slow on the draw. I only have 1 land. I don't have an Arcanist. I don't have a second land to, like, pray for Brainstorm to go and fix this one. I think I can do better than this. There. Sounds very bad. But on 5, like, you gotta keep what you have. And Urshini, thank you very much for following. Hope you're enjoying the content. I think I'm about to get pummeled by little green men, but, you know, we're used to that. So I'm looking to draw land and sudden demise, probably. I think that's what would get me back into this game. Oh, yikes. Maybe this is all they'll have, chat. Well, this feels awful. Oh, wait, not F6. I have a Force of Will now. Absolutely not. Elvish Visionary represents so many cards with triple Wirewood. Now they have, like, Pendlehaven, so, like, it's just like a 5-turn clock on damage alone with what's on board, even if they play nothing else. Boy, these Wastelands are good Magic cards. Yeah, I probably should have played Pyro, you're right. I just, like, mentally set this off to the side as uncastable. So I just, like, drew the Wasteland, played it, and didn't think about it. Ugh, there's the Visionary. Existence is pain. Can't even, like, get this Visionary because of all the Wirewoods. So I guess that means just, like, nug the Dryad Arbor, try to make it so that they can't cast more than one Visionary a turn. Morning, Echo. You've tuned in just in time to watch me get bullied by elves. So the stepmom of runes is fine if for some reason you feel like you need more than 4 copies of Mother of Runes for some meta game. A hope, a prayer, a chance. But I'm not really sure that in the current metagame, it's actually true that you do want more than 4 moms. Yeah, it is absolutely worse than regular mom. Like, you're not going to play a, like, 3-1 split of them or anything like that. Like, mom is just better as a whole. So, like, if you're playing it, you're hoping that the extra copies that you play will just overload whatever your opponent is trying to do. No, like, the losing the ability to protect itself is huge. Like, that's what makes it good in so many matchups, is, like, the ability for mom to just sit there and bide its time until it's good. Like, you know, say you're playing against Grixis control, like, Bolt, your new mom, Snapcaster Bolt, the next thing that you play, or the thing that you were trying to protect with it, is devastating. Whereas with regular mom, you know, Bolt mom, Snapcaster Bolt, some other card, or, like, then use a second removal spell on mom. Like, the new mom is not always going to be a 2-for-1 once it's active. So if you're going and playing this new mom, you need to, like, you need to be playing a Protect the Queen strategy so hard in order for that to be good. White bordered Land of War Elves. Gross. Yeah, I think it will be a very good modern card. Like, modern D&T will probably play that. I don't really, like, understand modern humans all that well. But, like, if it works for the mana there, that seems like just a great card there. The ability to, like, protect your Kite Sail freebooters and meddling mages and such is probably awesome. So, like, I think it's probably a fair and balanced Magic card for modern purposes. Oh god, a crop rotation for a Cradle? If I didn't have Sudden Demise in my hand, I would concede here. I assume I've just got to be dead. Even if I draw a land for Sudden Demise, my opponent will still have Nettle Sentinel and Scavenging Ooze left, and they will bounce a Visionary to their hand, so I still probably lose after Sudden Demise. Alright, or they can just Hoof us and die. Alright. That was kind of a disappointing end to, like, a very strong start. Like, we started off that league, like, 3-0, 6-0 in matches, and then we dropped the last 2 to combo. Why Shattering Pulse over a Braid in the sideboard? Because Cartesian said so. This is Cartesian's deck list from the challenge. I just ran exactly what he ran. So like let's talk about changes I would probably make to the deck list. So Haze of Rage was super cute. I don't know that it's actually good. So I would play Forked Bolt over Haze of Rage. I'm not 100% sold on the Echoing Truth in the main deck. Like, I get the Chalice world that we live in, but this seems kind of clunky. So I don't know that, like, this is good enough for the main deck. But these are the only two main deck slots that I at all question. Everything else seems very good in the main deck. Just to, like, compare this to what was happening before. Like, the Fire Ices that were there before and the Grim Lawmancers that were there before also kind of felt clunky. So, like, I think this is just an upgrade in that regard. So I'd make Haze of Rage, Fork Bolt. I don't know what I would make Echoing Truth. Like, maybe... I don't know that you need Pyromancer 4. But... like, something else that could be flashback by the Arcanist is probably fine. Maybe this is fine. But, like, I could see, like, running an Abrade or a 4th Pyromancer in this slot. Or maybe even just, like, another piece of cheap interaction. That'd be okay. If Force of Negation were out, a 1 of Force of Negation would be, like, awesome in this deck list. Like, just going and protecting this idiot at all costs is so important. So, yeah, if I could run Force of Negation, that's what this slot should be. Okay, like, let's look at the sideboard now. Personally, I'd probably play Abrade over Shattering Pulse. Like, against the Karn decks, I don't actually know that you're going to get to 5 mana to go and buy this back. Like, that seems a little like Magical Christmas Land. And I'd rather just have, like, one more flexible removal spell for creature-based matchups. Otherwise, I like most of what's here. I don't know that I would change anything else. Like, we didn't get it into play, but Keranos is the sort of, like, sticky non-creature threat that's great in matchups like Miracles and Grixis Control. So, like, I'm happy to have this, and I was happy to have more or less everything else that I've got here. Yeah, I'm not super happy about getting the pity chest after, like, I felt so dominant this league. Like, after those first 3 rounds, like, I just thought I was gonna 5-0. Like, this deck felt so good. Maybe I'm a little softer to combo than Delver is historically. I don't know that that's true. Like, I still got Force Days and a Spell Pierce. But, like, the Arcanist, I guess, is putting you into, like, a tap-out more frequently game plan, so maybe that makes you a little worse against combo. So maybe some of the sideboard cards should be more geared against combo. I don't know, so, like, maybe we just played against combo that we're not great against. So, like, for graveyard-based combo, like, we're going to be covered. We did just kind of get nutted by Show and Tell. And then, like, Elves were just not beating. Like, that's already hard for Delver, and we don't have that many good sideboard cards for them. Yeah, I could see a click in the sideboard. That'd be fine. So, like, I like the second Echoing Truth just as, like, another out to Merit Lodges. I think that's fine. Like, the Back to Basics are also good against those decks, and, like, the Karn and Cloud Posts and Soul Land decks. Yeah, so I think I want that to be a Braid. Maybe this Echoing Truth in the main deck could be a click. Yeah, or maybe, like, 1 Back to Basics is acceptable. Like, it's a little hard to play. Like, 3 mana is not, like, 100% unreasonable in Delver. Like, you're playing stuff like True Name in the first place anyway. But, like, you definitely don't want multiples in a game, and you don't necessarily need to find it early. I don't think I want to move the basic mountain to the sideboard. Like, for matchups like D&T, I want to have this thing in play, and I want to not be wastelanded off of red, so that I can just continue to fire these spells off just, like, forever. Yeah, so I'd like trying back to basics as Vendilion Click and Shattering Pulse as a Braid if I were going to run this back again. I think that's where I'd be. But this deck list has a lot of potential. I expect to see a lot more of this card. Um, I really liked this card when it was spoiled, and I rated it as like a great sleeper pick, and I definitely feel validated after playing 2 leagues with that card. Ooh, Jitte is an option. That's interesting. Don't know if great, but interesting. Hmm. God Eternal Kefnet in the board would be hot. I don't even know what that is. Thank you, Cardboard Live Extension, for being awesome. Alright. May reveal the first card you draw each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery card, copy that card, and you may cast that copy. That card costs 2 less to cast. I think that's too mana intensive for this deck. Someone on the Legacy subreddit, though, was posting about that card in, like, Grixis control, and it being really good. Just, like, copy your K commands forever. Alright. Yeah, seems like bad casts. I agree with that. So I think that's all I've got for you today. I'm going to be back on Tuesday night, I think. I think Tuesday night I'm going to play some sort of like Sneak and Show or Omniscience deck. I got a couple of donations for that sort of deck. So Tuesday night is going to be Sneak and Show, and then Wednesday at noon I'm going to be doing a Goblin stream with another streamer. So that's going to be fun. That's a donation goal that I hit. So we've got another guest stream coming up. And I'm looking to grow the channel over the summer. I'm a teacher, so I have the summer off. So I'm going to be streaming a lot. Like, I'm going to be playing a lot of Magic. So if you want to see something happen on this channel, please donate and make it happen. Or if you want to, support me spending a lot of time playing Legacy this summer and making great content, please subscribe to my channel or do something to financially support that. Not getting teacher paychecks over the summer. So help support me being awesome and bringing you great Legacy content. Cheers, folks. Have a good afternoon, and I'm going to host someone else who's playing some sweet Legacy action. Cheers.